I thought it was 20 weeks, we can debate whatever, but the original ruling on Roe versus Wade was the first trimester, is that correct?
Well, it was talked about as a trimester rule. What the point is viability, and viability was defined as the point at which the fetus could live outside the womb. And there has been recognition that that point could change somewhat. At the time of Roe, it was 24 weeks. And so it's the physician's determination of viability. But there's no question that at the point of a heartbeat is viability.
But and I'm not a legal scholar by a long stretch, but my understanding with the original ruling on Roe versus Wade was just to allow it for the first trimester, and both sides, the pro and the anti-abortion and the pro-abortion people have all tried to expand it their way. But the people for abortions have tried to get it up to our presidents for abortion up to 9 months.
I don't know.
If you care to build in Illinois to do that.
Unless a woman, in all of these cases, another issue with several of these, at least 2 of these bills is, in all cases, the court said in Roe versus Wade, and has continued to say, there always has to be an exception, even after viability, when abortions can be outlawed. There has to be an exception for instances where the woman's life or health are endangered.
Wow.
And that health, the restrictions in these cases exclude psychological and emotional health, which again is a problem from both, in my view, a policy perspective of protecting women's health, but a legal perspective of complying with the existing standards about what a health exception needs to include.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
I'm sorry, I'm getting too professory.
We have one more to address House Bill 490.
Meg Tilden?
Ms. Tilden, welcome.
I'm Meg Tilden, and I am from Huntsville, Alabama, and I'm speaking against the bill. First of all, a heartbeat does not equal life or personhood. A doctor can very easily see that a fetus will not survive outside the womb and still have a heartbeat. You are all aware of the Texas case. I am concerned that the doc could be fooled. I could see doctors leaving the field with this. I know, too, that I have spoken with and said that if this bill is passed, they are leaving the state of Alabama. Another one is retiring. They are both in rural counties. The nearest hospital from the doctors are miles. And being a former paramedic, I can tell you, yes, the first thing you check is a pulse. But just because you have a pulse does not mean that patient is going to live. I know my husband had a brain cancer. I had to make that decision. Although he had a perfectly normal heart, he was not going to be vital. And that is very hard for me to say. I also know a pregnant mother right now that found out that her child has emphysema. I can't even pronounce it. He was born without a brain. He'll be born without a brain. The brain stem is not. They have been to Birmingham. They have been to Montgomery. And is the doctor going to have to wait 48 hours after he tells her this? This is painful for her. She had to go home and explain why she was still keeping a baby. Explain that to a 3-year-old. why you're not bringing a live child in. It's very hard. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Is that the end of your list? Representative Clark, there you are. Did you have any follow-up comments you'd like to make?
The only comment that I would make is I appreciate your strong consideration of this bill.
And thank you, Representative McClarkin. Representative Henry has something real quick.
Real quick, just wanted to speak.
How much time do you think we need to give?
Less than 1 minute, less than 1 minute. First, wanted to speak real quick. There were some questions raised about the ability to record or maintain these type of records, and it's done every day in any legitimate medical facility in the state of Alabama that does any type of imaging. They have to store that data. All these machines will capture either still images or what they call cine, which is a movie type. And we have to store those for 5 years, or if it's a child, 5 years after they turn 18. So this is happening in any legitimate medical facility in the state.
Representative Wallace, House Bill 493.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate your time today.